where I'm showing you all the books I have collected over the past 4 years, and I'm going to be doing in this video books from Creative Haven. I'm going to include Anastasia Kolderiva and, if possible, Clara Markova. So let's not delay, let's jump right in. If you need to, go grab yourself a snack and a drink, and let's get all cozy, and I will walk you through all my my books. So first up is Creative Haven's Country Gardens by Teresa Goodrich, and in here I don't have any completed pages. I really found this book hasn't grabbed me the same as some of her other books. I also need to learn how to color her flowers. They're not the easiest for me to get my head around, but I've got this one, which is a marker base, and then I'm going over it with pencils. And yeah, I just really need to come back to it and just persevere through it. So that's that one. And then here I tried my hand at doing a short video. So I did a quick tutorial showing how I do paving stones, but I haven't progressed and finished everything else. So there's that. And then here I use watercolors as a base, and then up here I've started working on it with pencils. So I really just need to come back in and complete this. Maybe if I make these two little robins, that would actually work quite well. And then I think these are poppies. So if I make them like poppies and daisies, it could look really, really sweet. So that is what I have done in Country Gardens by Teresa Goodrich. Next up is Country Charm by Teresa Goodrich, another Creative Haven book. And in here, I've got a couple of whips. So I've got this one, which I still need to finish. I just really need to sit down and think through the color palette, because I've got beautiful yellows in the background and blues, and then I've got browns. So I just need to think through colors that will go with that. I might make it where I bring in some greens and some reds, which actually could work quite nicely. Then I've got this page, and here I've used a lot of white gel pen and Prismacolor pencils. Now, into the Creative Haven books, I find Prismacolor pencils work the best. I really enjoy using them out of all the pencils. And yeah, this was one of my first attempts at doing fur. Then I've done this one, and yeah, not a whole lot of extras, except just really a bit of white Posca pen and a whole lot of pencil. And I'm really glad that I was able to get these cane chairs to stand out from the rest of the background, because with it being wood on wood, I really wanted to make sure they didn't get lost, and I feel like I managed to keep the sort of in the forefront. Then here again, mainly Posca pen, not Posca, Prismacolor pencils with a little bit of gel pen in the centers of the flowers and white gel pen around the pink flowers. So I try to use paint pens to get rid of black lines. It sort of works. Then there's this one. Again, Prismacolor pencils, some gel pens with the flowers, and white gel pen to white out the lines in the smoke. It was my first train, actually. So I really enjoyed doing that one and creating a bit of a autumnal theme. This was the first Teresa Goodrich page I completed, and again, I really, really enjoyed coloring it. I used white paint pen here and around the flowers and on the windows. I was very proud of how it turned out. Then I've got this one, and then here this is all gel pen, and then the rest is pencil. I was inspired by our trip to France in 2023, so I colored that page. And then here I've still got a whip, so I'm trying to go for like a setting sun sort of background, and then I did a marker base here, but then that's as far as I get. And then over here I did this section with pencils, just to get it out the way. So yeah, that is what I've done in Creative Haven's Country Charm by Teresa Goodrich. Then we have Enchanted Christmas, and this is probably my favorite Christmas book. I have done quite a few in here. It is coming apart, so the pages might not be in the right order. So this one I did last year for Christmas in July with a whole lot of gel pen and Prismacolor pencils. And I really like how happy it turned out, and I just think it was a joy to color it, really. My biggest challenge was coming up with colors for the presents, so it all looked cohesive. But other than that, it was, yeah, very fun. Then here I followed Coloring with Elena's video, and I just interpreted it to a bigger page, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. Thought it was a lot of fun. As you can see, a lot of white Posca pen. But interestingly enough, I didn't go over all the banks and white it out, which is surprising because normally I do that. I must have forgotten. Then this is my gingerbread house back in 2021. So my first attempt at gingerbread. So I went all out with the colors and made it wild and Christmassy. And then here we've got this one, and then again you can see gingerbread. I love the kitty, so yeah, really this was fun to color. And some gel pen on this just to create accents. And then this one, I think it might have been ink tints in the background and then pencils everywhere else. So I really like how it turned out. A little bit of sparkle on the wings there. My youngest son decided he wanted to color this in, so yeah, that's taken over. But I didn't mind. It wasn't a page I really was fussed over. And then this was also watercolor paint in the background, and I think as a base on some of the pages, as you can see, it's coming apart. Some gel pen for like the ribbons. And yeah, I think I followed a color with Claire tutorial for the baubles. And then this one is a marker base and pencils on top, and then some white gel pen and some Spectrum Noir sparkle on the wings. I can get it to... I can't seem to get it to sparkle for you. There, maybe there. This one I tried with Castle Arts, and again it's not working out very well. And then here I put too much purple in the snow, so it's just absolutely not working out this page, and I've abandoned it probably forever. And then here I started with a background, and that's about as far as I've gotten. And then here is the color along I followed with Coloring with Elena. I did this one, and then I went and I did the original page. And then of course I do have this page which I copied onto colored paper, and I am busy filming it. As I color it, I'm filming it. And you can see the Prismacolor pencils really pop a whole lot more on colored paper than on just white paper. So yeah. So hopefully I'll get to finishing this one, and then we can have it as a color along up on the channel. So those are my Christmas pages in Enchanted Christmas by Teresa Goodrich. Then I've got the Christmas Charm coloring book. I think I might have only done one page in here. So I've done this page with a little bit of marker base here on the wood and a whole lot of pencil work, some gel pen. I really like the lighting. I was trying to work on lighting, and I think I'm getting the idea behind lighting, so that's encouraging. And then I've got gel pen here on the baubles, and white gel pen to cover up the black lines in the snow. But yeah, I really like how it's turned out. And my first time, I think, coloring cardinals. So yeah, that is all I have colored. So that is that. In Creative Haven's Christmas Charm by Teresa Goodrich. And then I've got Enchanting Fairy Tale Scenes by Martine, also Creative Haven. This book was featured in one of my previous videos for this series, where I showed you the pages I'd colored. So just briefly, this is my whip. And then that is my completed page. And you can find out more about what I used and all of that in my previous video, which I will link up here for you in the right-hand corner. And then next is Creative Haven's Autumn Charm by Teresa Goodrich. I don't think I've done too many in here. I think it might just be one. So we've got this one, which is also a color along up on the channel. I used a gel pen for the fine details, and we basted in alcohol markers. So that would have been Ohuhu markers, and then I went over it with pencils. Then I was trying something different for the sky, which, yeah, I don't think is too bad. I don't know if I've managed to color anything else in this book. Lots of plans, very little time. You know, see, I've planned this page out. Yeah, so that's all I've done in Creative Haven's Autumn Charm by Teresa Goodrich. Then we have Anastasia Ellie Caldereva, When Dragons Dream. Now in this book, you're going to see some of my older colorings. Oopsie. I'm going to need to fix that. All right, I'll try and fix that. Oh dear. Okay, so in here is some of my older colorings where you'll probably see my color choices weren't as cohesive. But, you know, it is a tribute to the coloring journey, and we all have to start somewhere. So some pages are work, others don't. So this is a whip, and I've forgotten which coloring pencils I'm using. But the idea is to create like a mother of pearl effect on the wings. But I'm not sure it's working very well. But again, I need to just come in and finish it. And then here I've started with Inktense pencils, so I need to just go through and activate all of this, finish putting it on, and then do the background. I want to do it quite a dark blue, maybe very dark to very light blue, then dark again. These are very detailed pages. The paper requires a lot of layers. So then I've got this one, which everything works for me except for the wings. I feel like I chose the wrong color wings. I might have needed to have gone with that green instead of the blue. but this was done back in 2021, and I'd only been coloring for about a year, so you know, good practice. And then here, this is 2 years later. I colored this one using Prismacolor pencils, some Dovecraft glitter glue. I didn't do a background because I didn't want to ruin the page, so I left it as is, and I find it's very striking just the way it is, so I think I made a good choice. Then here is another one I've started and haven't completed for whatever reason. And then here I've been working very slowly on blackberries. So again, because of how I color and trying to do it as realistically and as detailed as possible, it takes a lot of layers, and these aren't nowhere near complete. These two are complete, and these still need to be built up. So yeah, it's slow going, but it's very enjoyable. Then here, this one is done with Inktense pencils in the background and Arteza pencils everywhere else. It's complementing this one. So what you see on this side is what I want this side to look like. And again, it takes a lot of time to color this up. So either I need to change my approach or I just need to dedicate more time to it. But, you know, that's the idea behind it. And yeah, using Arteza pencils, which actually does work quite well. I think on this paper you could use just about any pencil and it will be fine, but watercolor medium on this paper is not the greatest ideas. This I followed a color along by Lavella's coloring, and I just followed along with her, and I just love how it turned out. So one of my more successful pages, I think she used Inktense as a base and then went over everything with pencils. I didn't have polychromos at the time, so I made do with Prismacolors, and yeah, I really like how it turned out. So one of my favorites. And that is it in When Dragons Dream by Anastasia Colderiva. Next up is a Martine by Anastasia Colderiva, and here I do have a few webs that I need to complete. Let me be perfectly honest, I absolutely love her work. So here I did everything, I think, in Prismacolor pencils. And here, even with this bird, it still could have been deepened up so much more. I could have done probably another 5 layers, and then this bird would look even better than it does. Her hair and her face, I interpreted a Chris Cheng tutorial to help me, and that worked quite well. Yeah, and then I think, I can't remember if I watched a few videos to see how to do moons, which is very possible, but I like how it turned out and think it's really, really lovely. This one was done in, gosh, it's fading. I can't see, I think it's faded. Oh dear. Okay, so that was done whenever it was done. Yeah, I don't have anything done there. This is a whip which I really need to just finish. I was experimenting with clouds, so I've got a whole lot of clouds, probably far too many clouds than is necessary. I need to finish just a section of her skin here, her jewelry, and then these flowers. I do have everything written down in a journal, so I can complete it. Hopefully I can get to it quite soon and just wrap it up. Again, all pencil work. Then this one is one of my favorites. I followed a Chris Cheng tutorial for hair and I think skin, but it wasn't for this page. So I just find the right tutorials or whatever I'm looking for and I interpret it onto the pages I'm coloring. But the flowers are completely my own, and then the background. So I want to gift this to a friend of mine, but because it's going to be a gift, I am psyching myself up to not finishing it because I want it to be the absolute best I can give. And yeah, so again, something I need to finish, but I really need to be in a certain framework. My mind needs to be in a certain place, and I need a lot more time to do it really slowly and carefully. And then here is a whip. Now, as you can see, I've used alcohol marker as a base, and then I've tried to go over and match this, and it's just, her skin hasn't turned out very well. And then something here on her lips has gone wrong. But her hair is looking okay, and I think the flowers and the berries will be fine. So it's just a matter of persevering through it. But again, you know, you live and learn. So that is a Martine by Anastasia Calderiva. And then I have Mysteria, and I don't have an awful lot colored in here. So here, I think I had filmed it, but I don't know if I put it up on the channel. Polychromos for the hair, the thistles. I think I used Prismacolor for everything else. Definitely the bird. The background was chalk pastels, and then I went over it with pencils, and the background doesn't work for this page. But, you know, I didn't know what else to do, and I had an idea in my head and it didn't work out well. Fortunately, it doesn't totally ruin the girl and the bird because they do still come out, but maybe if I went over with maybe a different color, maybe gouache or acrylic, I could change the background. So maybe one day I'll change the background. But yeah, I'm really pleased with how she turned out. I think she's really, really beautiful. And I'm quite happy with the bird too, you know. I haven't had a lot of practice with birds. So yeah, not bad, you know. It's how we learn. We try things, they work sometimes, and sometimes they don't. And I've done this page in a different book. And then here, another favorite of mine, and this was a color along up on the channel. I used Prismacolor Premier pencils. I think some, maybe I used Prismacolor Polychromos, and then Spectrum Nor Sparkle over here on the wings, some gel pen. So yeah, this is one of my favorites. I think she turned out so beautiful. I like it when the picture fills the whole background. It sometimes makes it easier. I think that's all I've colored. Yep. All right, so that is all of my Anastasia Calderiva books. And I thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate your time. Hope you've enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Until next time, everyone, take care. Happy coloring. Bye for now.